Boys playing Old Trinity. Andrew Ramsden gets the smash out of the centre. They're in the green, and the Nobbers, they're in the purple. The high mark is taken here by Nobbers, centre half forward, and they have a mark to a veteran. That is Trinity inside their 45. That is Vivello. Still at half forward for the Nobbers. Armour, too long, and we'll have a free kick on the half-back to Richards of the Tees, they call them. This is the smoke-free sports cover VAFA game of the day. Off the smoke-free wing is Andrews. Andrew Ramsden, 2 possessions already, only gone 2 minutes. Here's a chance for Arrowsmith to hoover. Wonderful tackling sleep. And joining me is the Herald Sun columnist, Jason Frankel. This is 1 playing 4. The T's are on top of the B grade table. They'll be looking for the double chance, as would North Old Boys.
Absolutely, and I think anyone who looks at the B section ladder will find that it's just so even right across the board, and the results have been incredible throughout the year.
There's even a chance that North Old Boys, realistically, with 4 games to go, could even be relegated, with Hampton Rovers only 3 games behind them.
Yep, 4 games separating top and bottom, and I think that just that proves just how even it is in this competition. And look, Hampton had a big win against, I think it was Collegians a couple of weeks ago, just to prove that anything is possible in this division, Brad.
Well, North Old Boys off half back. It's a mark here to Delac. North Old Boys into centre half forward. Richard Ramsden can't take the fingernail attempt. Delac, well, ducking his head there, I thought, was a North Old Boys player. Heavy bump comes from Richards. Andrew Ramsden was the fresh air kick. Have a bounce at half forward for the North Old Boys. And
that player that you just called, Andrew Ramsden, we saw him play representative footy for the VAFA against the VCFL.
Is he the best player in the association?
I wouldn't say he's the best. He's certainly one of the better players. I was very impressed with his efforts last week. Started in the ruck and moved to centre half forward and absolutely helped swing the VAFA's fortunes in that game.
Well, Andrews wasn't successful there, but Collison is for the Nobbers. Half forward line for them. Andrew Ramsden again in the action. Now coming onto it is Armour. Inside the 45, can Barker snapple it? He can. And he's going to shoot from 40 metres, and you can see the angle is tight, but this is the live pocket at Elsternwick Park. There's quite a strong breeze coming over his right shoulder, and more often than not, they get them from these tight situations.
Strong mark, wasn't it? The ball was swirling around in that breeze, and Barker just held his ground. Bit out of position, but took it well.
Starts it out right. It does come around, but a bit too late. Only behind. So scores on the smoke-free scoreboard. 1 behind each. OTs versing the Nobbers. We've gone 3.5 minutes on the McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock.
And I think it, as that kick just demonstrated, it's probably going to take a while for the players to get used to the breeze here. Today it is swirling around and could cause some headaches for some of the forwards.
Heightens at the bottom of the pack. Tap forward by Pate. Dan over to Stevens. Balazy with the kick. Oh, well done there by Collison. On the rise now to Andrews. Inside 45 for the OTs. Frost, can he bring it in? He's the man there with the cycle shorts, a former Box Hill player. And he's been a terrific acquisition for Old Trinity this year. Who is your best player then in the association? I'll put you on the spot.
My best player in the association? You'll have to give me a bit of time to think about that one.
Well, Richards gets the kick out of the pack. Can it be marked here? It can. And Stickland has taken the mark for Old Trinity, and he's going to bring up the first goal of the match. He's been a superb player in B grade this year, Stickland. From point blank, there it is. And that is Stickland's 58th game of goal for the year. His first for the match, smoke-free, 1-1-7 Old Trinity. North Old Boys, 1 behind. We've gone 5 minutes into the first term.
And Stickland, of course, has been a very reliable goal kicker for Old Trinity for a number of years now. A strong, very strong forward setup for that side. and with Ramsden controlling the ruck duties, and Glenn Hatfield, who we also saw last week, played a sensational game in my opinion. I think they might just be too strong for the Knobs today.
And Ben Jordan's out for the North Old Boys, so he's a big loss. He's the state player. He got a bad injury to his neck last week, but he was running during the reserves match, so good news there. He's going to be out though for a few weeks while he gets some movement back. Yeah,
it didn't look too good for Ben Jordan last week. He had to come off the ground. His neck was in a brace. It didn't look pretty, but obviously nothing too serious for that player, which is good.
Well, Dan throws it out. That should have been a free kick. Not seen. Mark though to Trinity. Heighton shoots from 45. Only a behind. So on the smoke free, they're now 1-2-8. And North Old Boys are just the behind. 6 minutes gone on the McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock. And I'd suggest that the left of screen is where this 3 or 4 goal wind is blowing. Normally it's to the right of screen.
Yeah, that's right. It's going the wrong way, or the other way today. And I think at least 3 or 4 goals. It's really picked up in the last couple of minutes.
Belazy gets the kick. Stickland is in front. Well picked up there by North. Here's a go now for Lay. He can relieve. It might go out of bounds in the full. It has, and Stevens will take the free kick. Well, I'll call you Father Nature after that comment, Jason. He was off. Good call, Colin Phillips. Too quick, that's a bit high. It's going to be a bounce. It should have been holding the man too high. Should be a free kick to Trinity, but the umpire's gone with the bounce.
I think probably, just going back to your question earlier, I think probably the best player going around amateur football at the moment is Simon Wood. And perhaps if it wasn't for his age, and even in spite of that, he's on the verge of being picked up by an AFL club.
Well, Sleep does well there on Frost. He's one of the keys for today's game, number 8. And Sleep on screen now. He's having a few words to Frost. You might be an ex-VFL player, but oh, he throws one, does Frost. Had to watch out, he could go away a free kick. He went off too early. Maybe he's just thinking that the competition's a bit easy for him. Here we go again with these two. Is it out to the full? Just about came off the laces of Sleep, but it wasn't. He's enjoying himself on Frost. Oh, there. The ball's 20 metres away from Trinity's goal. And we welcome Rob Cross to the commentary position. Well, Rob, we'll just have to wait for a second to welcome you as we get a kick away from North Old Boys. And again, it goes out of bounds on the full. That is a difficulty with the... I'll just check with Father Nature again with the breeze, the weather conditions. You, Jason Frankel, really, that's your name.
It is indeed, and let's just have a look at this ball. It's certainly a very strong breeze to the left of screen. 4 or 5 goals, I think.
Lay was the player up high, couldn't take the mark. Boyle, to a second attempt. Well done here by Vivello. No, Belazy now. Vivello again and Belazy. Boyle, captain of Nobbers. Great vision. Finds a teammate. Armour. Trying to do something. Oh, Stevens, great tackling. Richards in the bottom is pretty willing. Hatfield does a tackle now on the smoke free. And at 8 plays 1, Trinity leading.
Yeah, just too many handballs there from North Old Boys. They ran themselves into trouble, overusing the ball.
And here's Rob Cross on the smoke free wing.
Take 2.
Thanks very much, Brad. Good afternoon, Jason. The first rule of arriving late as a commentator is to let the producer know you've slipped into the chair so he can turn your microphone on. Long kick up towards half forward. Trinity mark taken by Phillips. Cole Phillips deep in the forward pocket or half forward line, 45 metres out from goal. The first time we saw Trinity this year against Old Paradians, he was one of the key players. Bombs it into the goal square, looking for a high leaping player, thumped away and will find the boundary line. 10 metres around from the old Trinity goal. 1-2-8 Old Trinity, North Old Boys, 1 behind 1 point. We've played almost 10 minutes into the first term.
And there, again, we could see evidence of the breeze on that kick, just holding up, and a very penetrating kick from outside the 45.
Arrowsmith, Dan does well to rove here. Hatfield from 40, he's highly skilled, just about gets it in. It's hit the goalpost. Probably deserved better there. 10 minutes on the McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock, first term. Old Trinity, 139. North Old Boys, 1 behind.
It was a good kick from Hatfield again, just getting a ride on the breeze there and carrying it through, almost home.
I think they're going to win this game comfortably, Trinity, with Hatfield, Dan, Andrew Ramsden. Plenty of talent. This is Sleep. Marks it on the half-back. Frost and Sleep again into it. 2 stocky players. Hopefully that clash will develop this afternoon. On the wing. Good mark by the Northerners. Oh, Trimboli just gets in front of the hand pass. Cole Phillips, Dan. Lovely hand passing there to Rob Phillips, the captain. Looking for Stickland, but falling back is Sleep again. Another possession. This is Boyle. He loves to go the hand pass. Curry. Bit slow there. Could have been holding the ball. Andrew Ramsden. I think he is the best player in the association. Big kicks in front of the square. Stickland pushed out his opponent. Not paid. And it's rushed out of bounds.
You think Ramsden's better than Wood at this stage?
Well, Wood's only played a handful of games in the association this year. He's got bad injuries. There's a doubt about him with his shin splints, whether he'll come up in the finals. But he's only played a handful of games. He's played most of his games with Carlton Reserve. So I think he can only go on this season in amateur games.
Forward line once more. Trinity looking for their second goal. North Old Boys defence holding up firmly though. Swept away by Lay. Got a teammate running for him there, and it's the skipper Boyle. Goes out towards the wing. Talbot. Gathered by a teammate though, and it's kicked up towards the half-forward flank. Coming out a long lead now to Vine. And he's wrapped up in a tackle by Dr. Evil. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I saw Austin Powers last night, and Dave Bellasi is a spitting image of Dr. Evil. Have either of you seen Austin Powers?
No, but I've seen Dion Chiavola, and he looks like a relative of that player too.
Here's a chance. Lovely movement of the footy. Boyle. Oh, he's hit the post. Bad luck. Lovely movement of the football. 1 behind.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
It's hit the goalpost. I'm going to use that when we get a great goal this afternoon.
So you've seen it, have you?
I haven't, but I've heard the promotion.
Quite catchy. Good music. But the film itself, well, I won't go into that. There's a chance now for Trinity. It's on the last line of the fence. Bellasi himself. Oh, straight to Big Barker. Lovely mark. Chipping in. And a mistake. Lee Carlson won't be happy with that. Almost 13 minutes gone into the first term. McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock. A Trinity lead by just 7 points. Brad Beitzel's declared them as certain winners. Oh, I think North Old Boys are applying themselves pretty well so far.
What do you think, Jace?
Well, I think we can't be fooled into
Barker. Sorry to wait on the kick, Jace. Looks pretty good. Just away to the right-hand side. Bad luck, 1 behind only. North Old Boys, 3 behinds, 3 points. Old Trinity, 1-3-9, 6-point ball game.
I think we'll have a clearer picture at half-time when both sides have had use of the wind. Trinity have had a lot of play in the first quarter, but they are kicking with this strong breeze. And I think North Old Boys have probably handled themselves pretty well, apart from a little bit of overuse of the footy.
Andrew Ramsden. Now, I'm getting your thoughts later, Rob Cross, on who you think the best player is in the association. This is mine, Andrew Ramsden. I've seen him dominate B grade, and he's played well in the 2 state games in the past month. Been the best player for Victoria. Look at that for a 70-metre kick. Stickland up high. Just a pity he couldn't take it. Around the corner is Andrews. And it's only a behind there. A bit like Zaverians were against St. Kevin's earlier in the season. They had all the fire to this end of the ground the first term. Couldn't capitalise. Ended up losing the game, Zaverians. Old Trinity, 5 shots for 10 behinds. North Old Boys, 3 shots for 3 behinds. As the ball is on the smoke-free wing. This is Vavello. Yes, he's found a teammate loose. Moore. He was off. That's holding the ball. Come on, umpire, pay a decision. Cole Phillips, Andrew Ramsden. This is Andrews. Another big kick to Stickland. He's shepherding. He lets this ball shepherd through. The field umpire is 45 metres behind the play. And I would suggest that one thing using your weight to get a ball through. But in that case, I thought it was shepherding. And the second goal comes up for Trinity, 2-4-16. North, 3 behinds. Halfway through the first term on McKinnon Sports Medicine.
Well, I'd have to disagree with you on that occasion, Brad. I thought it was good work from the full forward there in Stickland. And a good kick too from Andrews, using the wind there to his advantage. and a long kick from, well, probably about 50 or 55 metres, shall we say?
So the ball returns to the centre of a chilly windswept Elstonwick Park. 15 minutes played. Old Trinity, good goal. Extend their lead to 13 points. 2-4-16. North Old Boys 3 behind, 3 points. Big punch by the best player in amateur football, Andrew Ramsden, says Brad Beitzel, to Hatfield. Not a bad player himself. Couldn't pick it up on this occasion. He's got some pretty willing teammates though, intent on burying in and obtaining that little football. Between centre and centre half forward for Trinity into attack once more. Good start to this match. These conditions I would have thought would suit North Old Boys on a fine still day. Trinity's skills maybe too much for the Nobbers to contain. Bursting through, good play there by Booth. Up towards centre half forward. Got his teammate there, coming out to meet it, Devine. Wheels around, bombs the ball up towards full forward. Will it bounce through the breeze, or the unlucky bounce has held it up? Boyle chasing it towards the line. In fact, it's Trinity. Is that the correct pronunciation? Number 5? Serini. And it goes out of... Yeah, baby, yeah. It goes out of bounds in the forward pocket. 30 metres around from the North Old Boys goal. 16 minutes gone. 2-4 plays 3 behind.
He deserved a goal then, Devine. It was a beautiful play across half forward and a pretty good kick against the wind too.
Balazy strong, bursting his way through. The handball doesn't find a target. Lands in the lap of an opponent though. Up towards full forward, juggling attempt. No mark. Barker was involved in the contest. Trinity to clear. Searching for the boundary line. Galloping after it, Trimboley. He couldn't gather it before it dribbles over the line. Some 75 metres around from the North Old Boys goal. Doing well though. Almost 17 minutes played first term. Trinity 2-4-16. North Old Boys 3 behinds, 3 points.
Trinity had it well, both A and B grade had the bye last week, but they had a big win over Beaumaris in their previous match. Now, got the ball here is Delac. Took a long time. Andrew Ramsden. It's as good as a kick, isn't it? Up to the wing. Andrews already had 5 possessions. First term, lay strong and confident at centre half back. To the wing. Oh, smart mark there, Curry. It should be 25 metres against Sam Kennedy. The umpire hasn't paid it. Young umpire. Don't wish to be critical, like to be supportive. Difficult though with some of the decisions so far. Andrew Ramsden from one end of the centre square to the other. A pleasure to watch him play. On the burst is Arrow Smith. Sam Kennedy was on the ground, and Balazy has come up from fullback up to the wing. He might be playing on Boyle, following him up. The throw in, Trinity's side of the wing. Arrow Smith goes up against Lay. Arrow Smith gets it. The high kick, difficult to play these ones. Oh, I think he's taken the mark, Lay. He's been paid. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, did he just kick that ball? I think he may have. And if he did, that wasn't a mark, but it was a great attempt. Do you think he kicked that ball then? Yeah, I think I called him out of the pack. Andrew Ramsden, half back, Pate. His cousin is the famous Australian cyclist Stephen Pate. But his kick is poor, and it's marked by North Old Boys.
Good kick, centre wing. Taken there by Boyle, and he's away, the left footer. Up towards centre half forward, Ramsden. No, chipping in front of him was Kennedy, and now a 25-metre penalty. So, poor discipline there by North Old Boys. They can't afford that. They're holding up Trinity quite well. They can't afford to concede ground in such an easy manner. Long kick, Kennedy. Centre half forward. Oh, a big leap from behind. No mark, Cole Phillips. Sweeping handball came across there from Connolly. North Old Boys. Connolly, in fact, still has it. Kicks towards centre wing on the left foot. Just a little bit of shepherding off the footy there. Allows Trinity to go forward once more. Into centre half forward. Oh, good work. Stickland pushed his man off the football. No one at ground level to take it. All North Old Boys. And they will clear. Through the skipper. Boyle. Up towards centre wing. Pushing and shoving. Well done by Talbot. Handball. Excellent. Moving it well is Delac. Up towards the half forward flank. Oh, 2 to beat. Once more Kennedy. So Kennedy and Ramsden look a little alike on the half back line. Ramsden perhaps a few inches taller. Kennedy thumps it to half forward. Oh, big leap. Not taken on the second grab by Arrowsmith. And the ball is seen over the boundary line. Entertaining game so far. But across half back, Kennedy and Ramsden holding up North Old Boys forward thrusts. 20 minutes played McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock in the first term. Old Trinity 2-4-16, North Old Boys 3 behinds, 3 points.
They are. Those two players are absolutely dominating across half back and using long penetrating kicks to send Trinity back into attack. They just need to get a little bit more value for their forward thrusts, the Tees.
From out of the centre, Booth. This is Boyle. He's their best so far for North. On the point of the square. The pass is looking for Barker on the burst. Rob Phillips cops one far too high. Advantage paid, Lachlan Kennedy. Brother of Sam. Centre half forward for the Tees. Oh, it took forever to get that out. It was actually called a throw against Colin Phillips. No relation to Rob Phillips. 3 sets of same names in the Trinity team. North Old Boys to the wing. Delac ducked his head. Got the free kick. Advantage has been paid. North come towards centre half forward. And Balazy. Yeah, baby. According to Rob Cross, the star of, what's his name?
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
Good kick towards the wing position. Dan takes the mark. Call to play on now. Oh, Barker bearing down. A little bit of mobile though. And Dan eludes him easily. Highton has it. Wing position. Front of the commentary box here. Balazy's made ground. Kick doesn't find him now. A chance for North Old Boys. Can they gather? Amore does well. Scoops it up to Barker. Now the running player, the skipper. No, in fact, it's Booth, not Collison. And the kick's poor. Once again, Ramsden. Too easy, North Old Boys. They're turning over the ball far too easily. Ramsden has a man out wide. Running for him on centre wing. Goes up towards the half forward line and precision passing in towards centre half forward. Man on. Richards got it. Good movement of the ball by Old Trinity. But once again, North Old Boys disposal letting them down. No one in the goal square. Ramsden dropped back. And now, just moments later, it's been whisked up to the forward line for Trinity. They have a shot. 40 metres out, directly in front. 22 and a half minutes gone.
Yeah, well, when Barker took possession of the ball at half forward for Nobbs, he looked up and there was absolutely no one there except the green and gold.
Richards directly in front. Kicks from right on 45. He's hooked the kick. Poor effort. Should have goaled from there. Although the breeze is quite tricky here today. Blustering around Elstonwick Park. Almost 23 minutes played now in the first term. Old Trinity 2-4-16. They're first on the B section ladder. Fourth the North Old Boys. Today they're 3 behinds, 3 points, 14 points in arrears.
Collison gets the kick out. Oh, sleep. Surely he pushed out Frost. Not paid. This is, I think it's Smith. And we're going to have a throw in on the wing. We'll wait for the, which is Highland. Coming into the team today. Now, I think you'll find Trinity is playing an extra man in their defence because North Old Boys are doing the same. So hence why some of their forays are falling down. But that man just got the tap out. Andrew Ramsden's a big, big influence. Trimboli, not a great kick. Booth, smart play. And the kick here is from Sperling. Oh, it's been marked by Barker. Just inside. Well, that was a great effort. He has to wait for the umpire to bring him around. The time had been called. Correct decision. And he had gone off his mark. He had gone in front of his mark. So from the live pocket here. This to make it 8 points. Straight around. That's poor kick. And rushed through by Stevens. So on the smoke-free scoreboard, Trinity 2-5-17, 13-point leaders over North, 4 behinds. Just into time on first term.
He was probably unlucky, Barker. The time had been called because they did set it up well to make that shot on goal easier. But clearly the ball had to be brought back.
I thought it was quite a clever kick. Most of them looking head height, and he tried to sneak it through at about knee level. Didn't come off. I don't think he meant it either. That kick is swept away by this breeze here at Elstonwick Park. Out of bounds on the full. So Trinity threatening once more late in the first term. Almost 25 minutes played, 13-point lead. North Old Boys will be desperate not to concede. Richards is 65 metres from goal. Player on the mark screaming at him. Richards belts it toward wonky kick through the air. Teammates couldn't take it. Lands. Dan, he can't take it either. More good smother, Richards. Backed up well after that poor kick. And a boundary throw in now. A little closer. 55 to 60 metres from Trinity goal. North Old Boys desperate not to concede another goal. In close is Booth. He'll want the ball to come to him over the back. Collison now, can he gather? No. Diving in there was Vivalo, and holding the football against Trinity. And the kick will come back to Smith, number 26. Hatfield is the one who has to give it up. And Smith takes the free kick at a half-back. On the 45-metre line, goes in short, coming to take the mark. This is Booth. Keep on him to call him the skipper. Moore, one-handed over his head. Poor kick, and disposal letting them down. But they are now 80 metres around from the Trinity goal. Close, you would think, to quarter time. Won't be a long term, just the 2 goals scored. Belazy's drifted down. He's manning up. Boyle trying to burst through. Good play, good strong play by Stevens, but taken in the tackle. And now the kick finds the boundary line coming from Vivalo. Good work once more, North Old Boys. 26.5 minutes gone into the first term. Trinity 2-5, North Old Boys 4 behinds.
And conditions just getting more and more difficult here. The breeze is picking up. It's very cold and very blustery, and not good conditions for footy at all.
How much would you say the wind advantage is to the left of screen?
I would think probably 4 or 5 goals.
So North Old Boys on the Father Nature adjusted scoreboard, Jason Frankel. They lead by 13 points. We've gone 27 minutes. You'd say that North have done well this term to keep Trinity to just the 2 goals. Belazy, high to centre half forward. Well done, late. It's a hard ball to take, the ball that's got so much height, into a contest. So we'll go again. And we're seeing that forward line of Trinity's being stacked by the North Old Boys. In their last match, they fell over the line against Mazenod by 3 points to keep their final 4 hopes alive. Booth at the bottom of the pack. Well tackled by Frost, who was expected to dominate this match, but he's coming back after some injury concerns, so that may describe why he is struggling. Up high is Arrowsmith over the boundary line. Great bounce too by the field umpire. 45 away from the Trinity goals.
They've done pretty well, the North Old Boys backline. They're not afraid to attack the footy and punch the ball away in these cold conditions. It can be pretty hard on the hands doing that. But the likes of Collison and Curry are attacking the footy with vigour.
By the look of this late, he's been terrific. That's a throw by Dan. And Hatfield smashes it out of the pack. Out of bounds again. It's caught up. Look at them. The North Old Boys are happy with that term. And no wonder. They trail by 13 points, but considering they were kicking into a 4-goal breeze, they've done well. Trinity at quarter time, 2-5-17. North Old Boys 4 behinds. Start of the second term. Old Trinity, they're in the green and gold. And North Old Boys, they're in the purple. Not a great bounce. Lay gets the advantage there. Boyle, lovely. To Delac, inside 45. Rob Phillips. Their outstretched arms, the captain, can repel the foray on the back flank. See how the wind takes that ball. Curry punches it through. Hatfield with the volleyball skills. Curry's at the bottom of the pack. And we'll have a bounce on the point of the square. North Old Boys into attack. They trail by 13 points. Trinity 2-5-17. North 4 behinds. Better bounce that time. Stevens on the rise. Rob Phillips again with some volleyball. But it goes to North. It's at their centre half forward area. Boyle, lovely skills onto that distinctive left foot. But the wind, as we saw in the first term, takes everything to the left of the goals. and we saw 3 out in the full on that side of the goal. So 1.5 minutes gone in the second term on the McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock. Trinity leading by 2 goals. Pate with a kick in. Lovely mark, Sam Kennedy. Keeps it onto this defensive side of the ground. Smoke free. This is Andrews, already has a goal. And he's got a chance to take his side into attack after getting the free for too high.
He thought everyone had deserted you, didn't he? For a moment there, Brad. Cross was eating a hamburger. Frankel was seeking out more warmth. So we sit on the balcony here at Elsnook Park. Up towards the goal square. Here's Trinity, an opportunity to goal. I've been out in the centre of Elsnook Park. 3 to 4 goals this breeze. A crucial goal. This one, great movement of the footy. And Trinity get the first goal of the second term against the breeze, against the run of play. 2 minutes gone. They skip out to an 18-point lead. 3-5-23. The Trinitonians, North Old Boys, 5 behind, 5 points.
Well, that's just the start that Frank Donnell, the North Old Boys coach, wouldn't have wanted for this second quarter. They really needed to get the first goal. They looked bright out of the centre, but excellent work from that player there in Pawsey. And it's an important lead now.
Well, Jason, it's so windy and chilly here, middle of Melbourne's winter, and the wind factor is it's biting. I think we'll be ready to go down and call the Penguins in the Antarctic.
I think you're right there.
That was a superb bounce by the umpire, and he's picked out a free kick. It's too high, and it's going to Trimboli. He was complaining he didn't get the free, but now he gets up and he realises he is successful. He's 4 metres behind the centre. The centre half forward, packed forward line. Pate, well done. His brother is Stephen Pate, the professional cyclist. And this is Dan, Scotty Dan, played with the Dragons last year. From one side of the wing to the other. Was there a free kick there? None paid. North Old Boys, Booth, he's the go-to man. Onto their forward flank. Good mark to Vivello. His options a bit limited. So he squares it. Barker on the burst. Can't take it. Serini overran it. Goes back in though. Second effort, third effort. Pushes it forward. And Hatfield, he has put the vice-like tackle onto his opponent. Imagine what that'd be like, getting up after it. And he might have given away a free. Just calm it down, Glenn. Controlled aggression, as reported by Jason Frankel during the week in the Herald Sun, is what we're after.
Absolutely, and I think North Old Boys really need to, Frank Donnell needs to shuffle the cards, if you like, across centre half forward, because they just cannot penetrate that 45-metre arc at this stage.
Great work.
Trinity resolute in defence.
Great
Sorry,
work
Rob.
from the half-back line. Belazy weaved his way through, got it to Rob Phillips, on to Cole Phillips at half-forward. And further afield, Andrews has it 45 metres out, goes short, good movement of the football. And coming out on the lead, Stickland has it. 45-degree angle perhaps, and 40 metres out.
Now, if Belazy reminds you of Dr. Death...
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil, sorry. Who does Stickland remind me of? Wait for the goal to be scored and I'll tell you. Famous full forward from the VFA.
Here he comes, Stickland, 5-minute mark of the second term. We wait with bated breath on the goal and the look-alike. Long kick away to the left-hand side by a fair way. In fact, just squeezes in for one behind. 5 minutes played. McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock second term. Trinity 3, 6:24. North Old Boys 5 behind, 5 points. Here's Brad Beitzel.
Who do you think, Jason? Can you remember some of the famous VFA full forwards?
How many years are we going back?
Go to the 70s and early 80s. Mainly the 70s.
Frosty Miller.
Try Freddie Cook. In the face. It's just so similar. Andrews, well tackled. Jars out. Barker was playing forward, now in defence in his second term. And Rob Phillips takes the mark. This is Hatfield, highly skilled. Half forward line, Barker can spoil again. Curry, over to Delac. And North Old Boys clear off half back. They're into attack now. And on the burst is Sperling. Trying to play on. 60 metres away from his goals. Big breeze behind the kick. Well, that's going to be in the back. It is. It's against Lachlan Kennedy. And Serini will take the free kick. He's on the 45-degree angle. He'll kick from 40 metres. They need this, North. They haven't scored a goal yet. We're 6 minutes into the second term. They trail by 19 points. This to make it 13. A veteran who's just decided to come out of retirement. Trinity. Again, it's gone left as it just snuck in. Only behind. And I think I'd be starting off to shoot at the behind post on the right of the goals. Every behind has been scored to the left, down the left-hand side of the screen. Smoke-free scores. The Tees, 3-6. North Old Boys, 6 behind. 7 minutes, second term.
Look at that kick hold up in the breeze. Trinity clever. Down to the front of the pack. Chance, Booth. Players screaming at him to hand off. Now does. Chopped off, though. Well played at centre-half back by Pawsey. Goes in search of Ramsden between wing and half back, I should say. Brilliant smother there on Trinity. And there's going to be a bounce. In fact, it might have been Booth, the player there, whose kick was smothered. And there's going to be a bounce at half forward. I arrived and I was much in shock. I got here about 30 seconds into the first term. And I saw Mark Robinson on the boundary line, still in his number 6 Guernsey. And I thought, what a great comeback. He's playing in the first today. I'll explain that in a moment. Centering kick is excellent. Oh, the mark crunching work. Legal. Between full forward and centre half forward now. Bounce. Good contest, that. The mark should have been taken by the player there in Lay. He had 2 hands on it. Swirling conditions, though, so perhaps a little bit tough on him. He certainly had first purchase, but good work by the defence of Trinity. There's the bounce. Lay. Taps looking for a teammate. Now has that player. Vivalo, centering kicks, good. Booth doesn't quite get to the fall of the football, gathers the bouncing ball, spins delightful. This will be a great goal. No, it's away to the right-hand side, 1 behind only. 3-6 plays 7 behinds. Then as I got closer to the boundary line, I realised the boots are off and there's a little white stick in his left hand. So he obviously was just watching the start of the seniors game after completing a run in the seconds. We've played 8.5 minutes into the second term here. In the Sports Medicine time clock. It's Old Trinity 3-6-24. North Old Boys 7 behind, 7 points.
Sam Kennedy takes a strong mark, and the little white stick that Rob's referring to was one of the goal umpires' flag that was left over the reserves match. Curry pushed out his opponent in Rob Phillips, got away with it. This is Stevens. Oh, Richards just snapples it. Arrow Smith, Curry. And the ball go out again. I feel for the boundary umpire on this side of the ground, the one closest to the camera, because it's going to be a lot of throw-ins. There's a scuffle at the 45-metre line, half back, half forward. And just as we get, the players have now been broken up. And it was pretty willing there for a second, Rob.
It was. There was 8 players, in fact, there. And still, Nichols started again. The runners out. Cole Phillips is involved. And they're coming in again to separate the 2 players. The player for North Old Boys involved is Clancy. Let's get back on to the play at half forward for North Old Boys. A lot of feeling in this match. Barker's there. Oh, just rubs Kennedy in the face a little bit. And there's going to be a kick now. It's going to go to Delac. Move the ball quickly. He does, and it'll go out of bounds on the full. No, just stays in play. And the mark has been taken by Sperling. Long way from goal. 50 out. Difficult to make the distance from there. Don't see too many goals kicked at Elsnoek Park in that left-hand forward pocket. Glenn Huntley, road end. Sperling. Deliberate shot, though. Comes in, sets it up high. The breeze takes it away and through for 1 more behind. So they're working hard, North Old Boys, without scoring their first goal. They now move to 8 behinds, 8 points. Old Trinity 3-6-24.
I actually thought you might be implying that Mark Robinson had a walking stick for his wonky knees there, but I tell you what, with their scoring troubles that they've got today, North Old Boys, they could almost do with Robbo in front of goals. He's kicked 30-odd in the 2s.
And of course, do you call him a senior Herald Sun journalist? Is he one of the more senior staff members there?
He is indeed.
Rob Phillips has taken the mark. Strong mark over the pack. Defensive wing, up to the wing. Curry can jar it out. Hatfield, ever quick. Frost, his first mark, first possession wasn't paid. Richards, over to Pawsey. Oh, too easy against Trimboli. You can deliver into the vacant goal square. It's just touched. Well done by Collison to rush it through. But I thought Trimboli, it looked like he was injured there as his opponent ran off him. Smoke-free scoreboard. Trinity 3-7-25. North Old Boys 8 behinds. We've gone 11 and a half minutes into the second term.
And good work there from Richards too at half forward, just assessing his options and using the underground hand pass to help set that play up. And
Pawsey couldn't control the mark. It's gone out of bounds. It won't be a free kick because the ball was touched before it went out. When these sides last met, it was tight until three-quarter time over at the Alec Gillen Oval in Brunswick, and then the Nobbers went away with it. They're fourth. Trinity are now first on the B grade table. Is they going to be holding the ball? A bounce. It was Delac at the bottom of the pack, and Pawsey was applying the tackle. If any doubt, it's good to see the umpires going with the ball player rather than giving away cheap frees for holding the ball. Great bouncer, this umpire. Andrew Ramsden, Pawsey, Stevens, Hatfield in there, boxing for a free. He's got the free too, Hatfield. Oh, didn't think there was much in that, but he's highly skilled and experienced, and those sort of players know how to pick up free kicks. To the action stations for the backman. Just about taking it through. Now it is Sleep. Fresh air shot came from Cole Phillips at Trinity. Smoke-free scoreboard. Trinity 3-8-26, leading by 18 points. North 8 behinds. We're nearly halfway through the second term.
And you mentioned that Glenn Hatfield's a skilled player, and we saw a demonstration of that on that occasion. A good 50-metre kick into the wind.
Lay off, lock on for North Old Boys. Goes towards the wing position. Front of the commentary booth here. Good work by Booth. Bends the kick around. Delightful work. Mark spilt by Armour. A free kick. Holding going on. It's going against Rob Phillips and will go to Sperling. Advantage not paid. The North Old Boys players wanted it. As Favalo is streaming into 15 to 20 metres from goal, they've had an easy shot. So it's cost them.
You're right there, Robert. Should have been advantage.
Here comes Sperling. He's now got to shoot from just inside the 45-metre arc. Better passage of play by North Old Boys though, and once again Booth involved. Key player today. He's kept them in it through the centre of Elstonwick Park. Richards is his man, but Sperling comes in, unloads now. Good kick. He's got that one. Allowed for the breeze superbly. That's their first of the afternoon, and they bridge the gap. It's now just 2 goals in at 14 minutes. McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock in the second term. Old Trinity 3-8-26. North Old Boys 1-8-14.
Well, that's what they needed. North Old Boys just get the confidence going. They're not far off the pace here. Just a couple of goals behind, and in a low-scoring contest, they are right in with a chance. And you just wonder. The last time we saw North Old Boys, Justin Bugg made his debut for that club and kicked 5 goals. Not in the ones today. We don't know whether he's injured or perhaps played in the early game, but they could certainly do with someone of his goal-kicking capacity today too.
Andrew Ramsden gets the tap out on the second bounce after the ball wasn't touched. Now Frost breaks the tackle. Great strength. Well done, Frost. Here's a chance for Trinity. Oh, the mark's been paid. A bit early was the call. Clancy's got it at the half-back flank. Wonderful pass. Will look great. But he's kicked off the straight up to Andrews. Can't make them pay. Pawsey. Just well tackled by Clancy, and it's out of bounds. Well, thankfully Clancy could just do enough there, and that wasn't the greatest passage of play we've seen on our smoke-free coverage on Channel 31. Trinity leads by 2 goals. They're 3-8, North 1-8. Halfway through this term, the second, metres away from Trinity. Dan, the smallest player in the field, just about did the ruck work. Sleep. Always looking to do something, and it's taken out of bounds by Smith, and now it's 45 metres away from Trinity's goals. This match could determine the double chance. This is, including this game, just 4 left for the season. Barker in the ruck. Pawsey just can't find his mark. Andrews. Lovely kick into the wind. And that's Andrews' second goal for the match. His first this term. And Trinity now 4-8-32. North Old Boys 1-8-14. And we've gone 16 minutes, second term, on the McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock.
And he's been a real live wire across half forward today. Adam Andrews, I think is his first name, Adam. And his second goal there, and it wouldn't please Frank Donnell because he was just in too much space there across half forward. And particularly when you see the contrast at the other end of the ground, where North Old Boys just cannot find an inch to get out on their own. And then to see Andrews, well, running wild, really.
And just when he kicked that goal, the breeze seemed to have died a little bit, so advantage not so great now for North Old Boys. It's their turn to kick with the wind. Certainly the breeze not quite as strong as the first term. It's gusted up again just as I say that. 17 minutes gone, second term. Old Trinity 4-8, North Old Boys 1-8.
Best check with Father Nature. Jason Frankel, he's already told us that the wind's blowing the wrong way today. So he seems to be in charge of it.
We got it wrong this morning.
Magnificent kick. Well, the wind, whichever way it's blowing, carried that ball a long way. Up to 30 metres out. Oh, being held. Surely it was the skipper there. Quick kick around the corner. He's going to get the goal anyway. Good play. Followed up superbly by Boyle. And he slams home the goal. Palazzi, I thought, held him when he didn't have the football. It wasn't seen. But I think justice then was served. Almost 18 minutes played. McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock. A quick reply to North Old Boys, so they hang in there. Smoke-free scoreboard. North Old Boys 2-8-20. Old Trinity 4-8-32.
And they needed that one. It's easy for the confidence to take a bit of a beating in these conditions, and particularly seeing Andrews run in and get that goal. But good on them, North Old Boys. They'd want to be, wouldn't want to be any further out at half time, I don't think.
Back to where we were at quarter time. It's a 2-goal lead to Trinity. 18 minutes gone, second term. That umpire, what a bounce. Oh, bouncer of the ball, terrific. Dan can't take it, but Hatfield can. Andrews, all air. Booth to the smoke-free wing. The big sprint on here, into space. Scott Dan, no relation to Dermot Dan, the Zaverian premiership player, just retired. On the rise, well done, Sam Kennedy. To Richards, Arrowsmith couldn't snaffle it. It's come back onto the wing. Booth, one of their best 6 players. Good to get it out. Boyle is being held. Not paid. Terrible. This time it's Andrews again. He does a 720. 2 circles. And what a smother by Curry.
It was indeed. And look, I've been impressed with the efforts of Booth. You just mentioned him as being probably in the best 6 for North Old Boys. I'd think he's probably in the top 1 or 2.
I meant before they came out in the ground, he's one of their top 6.
Oh, yes, there, no doubt about that.
And he and Boyle are certainly in their best already. Stickland up high there. Oh, he gave away a free, did he? Got away with it. Now it's taken away here by Connolly. Lovely there by Collison. What a pass to Serini. He's 5 metres in front of the centre. Out to the flank. He turns around and takes a mark, Locke, and bounced off his teammate in Talbot. That hurt. Locke's big kick to full forward. Ramsden. He's terrific, isn't he, Andrew Ramsden? I think he's the best player in the association currently. And we're talking about a B-grade player. On the smoke-free scoreboard, back to 13 points. Sorry, 11 points it is. Trinity 4-8. North Old Boys 2-9. 20 minutes gone. McKinnon Sports Medicine time.
And today he's absolutely set himself up as a wall in that Old Trinity backline, and nothing has got by him yet.
Go back to that kick from Serini at centre half forward. He just used the breeze beautifully. Just poked at the foot. He didn't put any oomph behind the kick. Just let it float up towards centre half forward. And Locke took the mark, as does Collison. Reading the footy well. Booth back to Collison. In trouble now, Kennedy's got him. Well done, Lockie Kennedy. Great smother. Promising forward thrust has broken down in the centre. Desperate play. Lee Carson will be excited about that passage of play. Wasted opportunity, North Old Boys. Just attacking side of centre. 21 minutes played. Old Trinity 4-8. North Old Boys 2-9. 11 points in it. Good game. Be a bounce. First playing 4th in B grade. Lee Carlson at quarter time, so they'd really set themselves for this match. The most important games of the season, they felt. They were in a tight huddle and they were very keen to come out and exert their influence in the second term. So far Nobbers have held them up pretty well though, as they should. They have the use of a 3, perhaps drop back to 2-goal breeze now as the quarter's gone on. Centre half forward, 45 out. Hatfield's in there, niggling. Ramsden beaten by Barker on this occasion. Quick hands, not able to take it was Boyle. He's lurking, Blasey's lurking also. We're going to have another bounce directly in front. Glen Huntley Road end of Elstonwick Park. Almost 22 minutes gone now. Trinity 32, North Old Boys 21. That's on the smoke-free scoreboard.
Andrew Ramsden to go in the ruck again against Barker. Barker wins it. Comes out through to Armour. Shot. Only behind. So 22 minutes now, second term. Old Trinity 4-8-32. North Old Boys 2-10-22. So both have had 12 shots, but it's a 10-point lead to Trinity.
And it just goes to show you don't have to have a high-scoring game to have a good game. It's been a very willing contest and just the 6 goals on the board.
Well, what a great mark there to Collison. He spun into the pack, flew to pull it in, and he's come up from the back line. And he's taken a wonderful mark, and he's hurting. He crashed heavily. I'd say he's winded. That's it. Up with the arms and get the wind in. Time off here. And Trimboli's come out of that clash not too well either. So some difficulties here for North Old Boys.
Lovely pair of hands. In fact, it was Sperling, I think, was the player that took the mark, floated across very bravely. One grab in the swirling conditions and is now just recovering. We think just being winded. Initially, I thought maybe he dislocated a finger the way he was rolling around. He said to be grasping his hand, but now we can see trying to get his breath back. And a new player is to take the kick.
And that's Boyle. And he's a wonderful left footer. He'll go for the torp. He's got onto it, but it's going to fall short. Ramsden, Andrew. His brother Richard's on the bench. And he does well to repel the attack. To the back flank. Cruel bounce to Sam Kennedy. Hatfield, though, wonderful delivery to Frost on the smoke-free wing.
Handball over the top. Oh, a lot of problems there for his teammate. And Booth takes it, yet another possession. His kick not quite so good. Look at those long arms reaching up. Rob Phillips good to Kennedy. To centre half forward. Good mark coming out on the lead. Arrow Smith. Has he got an arrow sharp kick? It looks pretty good. Stickland. Good play, Trinity. Once again, their movement of the ball superb from half back. It started from Glenn Hatfield. Great skills. And now it's in the safe hands of Stickland. He'll kick from 43 metres out. Slight angle. As the scoreboard reads at the 24-minute mark. 4-8 to 2-10. And we may have a blood rule here. Player coming off. Umpire signalling in that cross-handed manner.
You don't reckon he looks a bit like Freddie Cook?
I think you've hit it at the nail.
In the face?
Yeah, definitely.
He's sort of got not as tall or as stocky as Freddie, but
his features very similar, aren't they? Very good call, Brad.
Yeah, Freddie Cook wasn't known for his love of training, and I don't think Stickland's the hardest trainer at Trinity. I could be wrong.
Connolly is coming off under that blood rule. The player to replace him is McGrath, trotting down to the half-back flank. Stickland about to line up for Trinity's 5th goal. He already has 1 to his name. Play is about to resume. Steady approach by Stickland. One of the key players in Trinity's assault on the B-grade flag for season 1999. Just a couple of steps. Lovely kick. Oh, that spins delightfully, as every good drop punch should. 25 minutes, a little over in fact, now played in the second term. McKinnon Sports Medicine time clock. And I think this term against the breeze will please Lee Carlson. Trinity 5-8-38. North Old Boys 2-10-22.
Yes, a justifiable lead of 16 points to the Tees, and it's demonstrative of their better use of the ball at this stage. Going forward, and then once they've got it in their forward zone, as seen on that kick by Stickland, a very good kick from just inside 45, and they're really setting it up well into the breeze.
Can they get it out of the centre here? Booth, I'd say he's only the best player on the ground. He gets out of the centre again and does some shepherding here. Well done. Pawsey taps it over towards Sam Kennedy. That's too high, so there should be a free kick. And Booth goes down. Well, it's disappointing to see a player going for the ball. Smith at the bottom of the pack, taken high and not rewarded. He's asking the question now, where was the free?
Yeah, just putting his arms up. What's going on, umpire?
Andrew Ramsden, beaten by Barker, might have been held. Well, taken by Barker, straight out of bounds in the full. The fifth out in the full we've had on that flank, so you can see that the wind is pushing hard into that side of the ground. Trinity 5-8, North Old Boys 2-10, 16 points in it. Deep into time on, second term. This is Pate. Cousin, as I said, of Stephen, who won the Austral Wheel, the veteran, during summer at the Northcote Velodrome. Smoke-free wing, Andrew Ramsden. Yes. Didn't actually hold the mark. It was paid the mark. I thought it was too high. But Barker's trying his absolute darndest against the